Good evening and welcome to McKenna Arena here inside the File Center. Pat Doherty along with Adam Demery. We are broadcasting live Holy Cross Lady Hoops as the Lady Saints will take on Spring Arbor tonight. And first of all, Adam, Holy Cross coming off a tough loss to Olivet Nazarene, and when you look at what Olivet does, there are 5 players that they run in and out. It's a very interesting dynamic. You as a basketball player, a former basketball player, talk a little bit about that dynamic when you're trying to defend 5 new players almost every couple minutes.
Well, the biggest thing, and it's known as the Grinnell system, obviously, with what they run over Grinnell. The biggest thing with it is you got 5 new players, 5 that play the game 5 new different ways, and that's something that's a big thing on the defensive side. But another thing that I think that Holy Cross needs to clean up today are the turnovers. That's the key to this Holy Cross Saints team. Whether they can win or lose is when they limit the turnovers. I think if they can keep the turnovers to 23 or lower, I think they get a win here today, because I've seen the Spring Arbor team on Saturday. I was with the Bethel Lady Pilots. They defeated them on the road at Spring Arbor University. This is a team that's a very good team, a team that can hit the three-point jump shot, but at the same time, a very beatable opponent here for Holy Cross at home.
And one of those things is, we call the game right here, obviously, 40 turnovers. It's hard to win games when you have that many, and Holy Cross actually had a shot. Late in the ball game, they were able to bring the lead within 7, brought it within 6, had a shot, really gained a lot of momentum going into the last few minutes of that ball game, and weren't able to close it out. So Holy Cross throughout the season, a lot of one-digit losses. I talked to Coach, and we'll hear on our interview with her the mentality of this team this year. They're hungry. They know they are very close to winning a few of those ball games. Obviously, when you look at Spring Arbor tonight, you talked about it, they're going to be running a little bit of a zone defense. There are going to be open looks for Holy Cross tonight. They're just going to have to knock them down.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime, the biggest thing with Holy Cross that I've seen so far this season are turnovers, the fact that they're basically moving a little quicker than their teammate. They're anticipating their teammate to go a certain area and that their teammate's not on the same page. So that's causing a lot of the turnovers there, first of all. Second of all, defensively, they need to talk out on defense, know where their teammates are on the floor, help side, who's got help lob in certain situations. And I think if they do that, they can make this a very competitive game and a very winnable game. Like I said, Holy Cross actually is out-rebounding their opponents on the boards. They're doing a great job down low. They just got to be on the same page, limit the turnovers, and on defense, make sure they're talking out there and communicating, and then they should have a very good chance of winning today.
A couple of my X factors in today's ball game. Lindsey Steffen, in the Olivet game, she really didn't show up till the second half. She's going to have to show up immediately tonight. Really, the team looks at her as a senior leader on the court, as well as Julian DeLucia, who is relatively their point guard, likes to run their offense for Coach Amy Litkin-Espajani. When you look at Shelby Nelson, what she's been able to do as a freshman, it's very impressive. I expect her to have a big game tonight. One of the things throughout the season has really been the young players. Carmen Lowe, Carrie Barnes, 2 sophomores have been given good quality minutes for this team.
Well, and the other thing with this Spring Arbor team is their height, and that was something that was a big question mark with Bethel on Saturday, was the fact that how are they going to handle their height, with that being one of their big weaknesses is the low post defense. With Holy Cross, that's not as big of a problem. Like you said, with Shelby Nelson, she's averaging 72.2 points a game. She's very capable down low. We've seen her in the post with a couple of nice up and under moves, and I think with this Spring Arbor team, a pretty athletic team at that, if you just get some shot fakes down low and some pass fakes, they'll jump it towards those, and maybe you can get some open looks down low.
All right, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. You're watching Holy Cross basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
More students than ever are considering Holy Cross College for their future. Have you started to think about yours? Holy Cross College is a Catholic, co-ed, 4-year institution of higher learning, offering a great curriculum with 11 NAIA varsity sports. Holy Cross offers 21 majors and minors, so you can excel in the subjects you love. Holy Cross also has the lowest tuition rate of all the private colleges in Michiana. 90% of students receive financial aid with an average award of over $24,000. Holy Cross College students have resources such as peer tutoring, writing, and math centers to ensure your academic success. Most importantly, professors know who you are and your strengths and weaknesses. Together, building your future. Be part of the 524 students that enjoy a lively on-campus experience, offering a vibrant social life with countless clubs and intramural activities that enhance your college experience. Visit Holy Cross College now. The experience matters.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continued to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Former stand.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back to the McKenna Arena. Pat Doherty, Adam Demery. Had a chance to sit down with Coach Amy Licka-Nespigiani. Her Holy Cross Saint team is 2-8 this year, 0-2 in the conference. Career record 22-51. Though the last two seasons for the Saints have been double-digit win seasons, and they're looking to build off of it, especially with a very impressive freshman class. As I talked with Coach Amy Licka-Nespigiani, we touched on that as well as where the program has been so early this year in the season. Welcome back to the Holy Cross pregame show. Pat Doherty here with Coach Amy Licka-Nespigiani. Coach, first of all, let's look back to the Olivet Nazarene game. A lot of turnovers, but you guys still had a chance down the stretch at the very end of that game to win that ball game. That has to make you at least take some positives out of that ball game.
You know, we can take positives out of that for sure. You know, they came and they executed a plan, which I was really proud of the girls for doing that. And with 40 turnovers, it's really hard to win the game. But it's difficult to lose a game when you out-rebound somebody by more than 20 rebounds and make more field goals than them. So it's, you know, there's just so many factors. And the girls, you know, it's frustrating when the majority of our losses are single-digit losses. So at the end of the day, we just got to find a way to win. We got to, you know, get back a few of those possessions that some of those turnovers, you know, they convert into buckets. That's game-changing moments right there. So we just, you know, they came out and they played hard. You know, it was a back-and-forth game. We would get it close. They'd get a run. We'd go back and forth. So, you know, it was a good test for the girls. They came out to a very solid conference opponent, and they were ready to go. So I think we can expect that the remainder of the conference season.
When you look at those close losses, especially this early in the season, how does that affect your team's mental state? Do you feel like they're hungry? They realize, hey, we're a few plays away, or are you worried that sometimes, you know, especially the younger players, do you lean on your seniors to keep those younger players' heads up and say, hey, you know, if we're right there, we just need to continue to get better, and then come tournament time, be ready to play?
You know, winning here is kind of foreign territory. So I go back to just knowing how to win, knowing how to, you know, some of those possessions, just knowing how to convert those possessions. And, you know, I believe that the girls, it's somewhat motivating to them that, you know, at one point in the season, we were 1.5 points difference from what we average giving up from what we score. And, you know, at one point in the season, we had outscored our opponents, and we had 2 wins compared to 4 or 5 losses. So, you know, I think they have a lot of fuel for their fire, and I think that once it clicks, it's going to click. So once we start converting those things, they're really all the cards will fall into place. But it's just, you know, we need one game for it to do that, and then I think the rest will just be somewhat of a smoother sail for us.
When you look at your team, we talked about it the first scrimmage of the year that we covered, that you're excited. You had a lot of seniors coming back. They'd been with you for the last couple of years. They knew your system. You felt like you could lean on them a little bit. Have they met your expectations up to now?
Absolutely. You know, I have great leaders. They are a fiery bunch. They come out, they compete, they work hard in practice. They're good mentors for the younger players, and you know they're excited with some of the younger players that we do have, and sometimes they remind me of things, which is kind of nice on days where there's a lot going on. But they're very good leaders. They know what our potential is, and they're dying to meet that. and I'm hoping it clicks any day because their time's running out, and I've been in their shoes before, so I'm hoping it just starts to click sooner than later.
Now you look at some of the freshmen, and freshmen to me are always kind of the X factor. You really don't know what you're going to get till you see them on the court. But the two freshmen that have been playing quite a few minutes for you, Shayna Anderson and Shelby Nelson, both have really impressed me a lot. Shayna Anderson coming off the bench, giving you quality minutes both offensively and defensively. And you look at Shelby Nelson, who's potentially making herself a known force down low for you, getting a lot of rebounds as well as putting up some points. Talk about their play.
Our freshmen, we're blessed to have the freshmen that we have because they are great fits for our program. They come hard. They come to practice and work hard. They compete. Shelby's making a lot of noise down low, which I'm really excited for her because, that's what I anticipated with her. It's just, like you said, you don't really know what you're going to get until they're playing against who you're playing against. So she's playing very well. The girls, I know they like playing with her. They're excited to have, an addition to our post game. So she's I hope she continues to flourish like she is. Shayna, she's had a lot of growth already up until this point. So I think she is going to, with a little bit more time, she's going to really excel. She's yet to hit her peak, and she has a great shot. She's long, she's tough, she plays hard. So if we can just put it all together and get her more comfortable on the court, which need to get her on the floor a little bit more for that to happen. So as playing with so many senior heavy guards, it's it's always a challenge to get her some game experience. But she's every time she steps on the floor, I think she brings something to the table.
I also think it's a testament to what you've been able to build in your short time here, and kind of where people are viewing Holy Cross moving forward. The type of players that are being interested in coming to this school, I think, is just again a testament not only of you but the girls that have put in that effort on the court. Let's talk, obviously, tonight you welcome in Spring Arbor. Let's kind of talk about them. What do you guys have to do offensively and defensively to come out of here with the W?
We have to come out. They run a lot of zone. They trap a lot, but it's really nothing like the game we had the other day. So kind of adjusting to playing basketball again. Yeah. So, making sure we start off in that flow and we kind of put the last game behind us because coming off of a game of such a non-traditional style of play, it might take a couple of possessions to get back into the rhythm of things. So executing our zone offense against they have a good zone. They have solid shooters. They have good post play. So we just have to really come out and be focused on, those little details, taking care of the basketball, meeting passes, all those little things that, you preach ad nauseum as the basics are really at this point what's holding us back to getting over that cusp.
The one thing about that game on Saturday, too, that really had me laughing, I don't know if you noticed it during the game, and you probably didn't, was the pep band was running their 5 in and out as well as the Olivet team. Well, best of luck, Coach, tonight, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
Welcoming to the pregame show. Thank you to Coach Amy for taking some time to talk with us here on the pregame show. We're going to send it to a 2-minute break. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we will break down both these teams, what their stats are coming into tonight's ball game. You're listening to you're listening to Holy Cross Basketball on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
They were outnumbered, out-equipped. They had no chance of winning, but they had one huge advantage: General George Washington.
The fate of unborn millions will now depend, under God, on the courage and conduct of this army. We have to resolve to conquer or die.
Just as the leadership of one man helped form a nation, today leadership can transform the world. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
College softball players Mallory Holtzman and Liz Wallace know winning isn't everything.
It's how you hold your head at the end of the game and how you walk off the field.
These two athletes carried their opponent around the bases after she injured herself hitting the winning home run.
What are they doing? Whether you win or lose on the field, if you did the right thing, then you did win.
Can they do that? And they showed us the right thing is sportsmanship.
Way to go, girl!
Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
He wanted to be known for doing his best.
Sure, right.
His best made him Major League Baseball's most valuable player.
Strike two.
He played in 6 World Series and was elected to the Hall of Fame. Although an honest man, he was best at stealing home. But the best quality of Jackie Robinson's life was his character. So here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Thanks for passing it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Welcome back. We're going to go right over to Adam Demery. Let's break down what the stats coming into tonight's game for the Spring Arbor Cougars.
Well, for the Cougars coming in here, they are coming with a record of 5-5, 1-2 in the Crossroads League. They are led by head coach Ryan Frost in his 3rd season. He's got an overall coaching record with Spring Arbor with 23-46. He's 9-30 in the Crossroads League. So coming in there, the Cougars are averaging 61 points a game, giving up only 59. They are averaging about 40 rebounds per game and giving up 40 rebounds a game. And while turning the ball over 14 times, they're shooting the ball 34% from the field, 33% from the three-point line, making 78 threes so far this season, giving 12 assists, 9 steals, and 1 block shot a game, and they are shooting 58% from the free throw line. And, Pat, that was where the game, in my opinion, was lost for them on Saturday against Bethel.
As we look at Holy Cross, they're coming in tonight averaging 67.3 points per game, giving up 69.3. They are out-rebounding their opponents 43-37. They're averaging 21.7 turnovers a game, and that's really been their Achilles heel. And the one thing I believe that's been holding them back from a few more wins in this early season, 41% they're shooting from the field, 21% they are shooting from beyond the arc. That's good enough for 35th best in the nation. 15 assists per ball game, 9 steals, 3 block shots. And at the free throw line, they're shooting 64.8%. One of the things I would like to see Holy Cross do in tonight's ball game that I think can really help them be a little bit more successful is attacking the rim, getting those opportunities to get to the free throw line. I thought they were a little bit passive against Olivet. Olivet likes to guard you on the perimeter a lot, force you to pass the ball around, and then they drop down and make you shoot a perimeter shot late in the shot clock situation. So it's one of those things I'd like to see Holy Cross attack the rim a little bit more tonight. We'd like to thank our friends at Gates Toyota, Gates at Granger, and Gates on Ireland Road, the whole Gates family, for supporting our broadcast, as well as Hacienda's Mexican restaurant. Come Fiesta with the Besta. Chips, salsa chips. What came first to your table tonight, Adam? And I'm thinking after the ball game, we might just have to go get some of that Hacienda. Sounds like a good after-game meal.
Always go for some chips and salsa, Pat.
Amen. Cardinal Buses as well. They are one of the sponsors for Holy Cross, traveling across the country for these Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Games. We're going to send it now down to the PA announcer for some announcements.
I'd like to welcome you to tonight's contest and ask that you join us in supporting character-driven intercollegiate athletics. Help us create a positive, competitive environment by showing respect for tonight's student athletes, officials, and spectators. Holy Cross College is committed to the NAIA Champions of Character initiative and asks for your help to create a positive, competitive environment. Please enjoy tonight's game. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand. Gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor this great nation and this community with the playing of our national anthem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting lineups. First for Spring Arbor Cougars. Wearing number 3, a 5'6" freshman from Brighton, Michigan, Carly Bender. Wearing number 11, a 5'9" sophomore from Niles, Michigan, Carly Newman. Wearing number 21, a 5'6" freshman from Macomb, Michigan, Kylie Townsley. Wearing number 22, a 5'11" senior from Paw Paw, Michigan, Jessica Garrison. And wearing number 34, a 6'1" freshman from Hudsonville, Michigan, Rachel Drzinga. Head coach in his 3rd season, Ryan Frost. And now for your Holy Cross Saints. Wearing number 10, a 5'7" senior from Scottsburg, Indiana, Megan Eve. Wearing number 11, a 5'6" senior from Fishers, Indiana, Jillian DeLucia. Wearing number 23, a 5'8" senior from Livonia, Michigan, Mary Fitzgerald. And wearing number 35, a 6-foot freshman from Mishawaka, Indiana, Shelby Nelson. And wearing number 54, a 5'9" senior from Terre Haute, Indiana, Brian McCarthy. Head coach of the Saints, Amy Nesbajani, in her 3rd season, assisted by Clem Lipka.
We're going to send it over to Adam quickly for the standings in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference.
Well, currently, Pat, the Holy Cross Saints are 0-2 in the Chicago Collegiate Athletic Conference. In the South Division, they are currently tied for last place with Calumet St. Joseph. There are 2 games for the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference, as well as the Crossroads League, as it is an intercollegiate or conference matchup with Spring Arbor here at Holy Cross and Robert Morris at Bethel. Robert Morris comes in at 1-2 in the conference.
The 2 freshmen to jump it. It's going to be Shelby Nelson back to Mary Fitzgerald. She'll hand off to Julian DeLucia, and Holy Cross wins the tip.
Our referees for tonight, our referees for tonight are Bo Dunphy, Greg Humiston, and Jonathan Hampton.
Megan Eve's first shot attempt is an air ball. It'll be rebounded then by Spring Arbor as Carly Bender will push it up the floor for the Cougars. Swinging down to the near side wing. That's going to be Garrison back up top. Townsley on the drive over to Bender. Bender will drive, foul line, tipped away, almost stolen, and Julian DeLucia will come up with it here on the fast break attempt. Over to Mary Fitzgerald and let her just a little bit too far out in front. It's going to be a turnover, the first for the Saints.
And that was what I was talking about, Pat. That's one of those moments that Julian DeLucia's on one page and Mary Fitzgerald's on a complete other page. Didn't think that she would get that cross-court bounce pass over.
Newman's inbound pass to Garrison. And Garrison picks up her dribble. She'll hand it, and they'll get it back to the point guard, Bender. Bender over to Townsend on the far right wing. Dersenga, top of the key. She'll send near wing, and now down to the far left corner. It's going to be Newsom, guarded by Fitzgerald. Over to the top of the ring, Garrison drive, and hand check will be called. The first foul of the ball game will go against the Saints. That's going to be that's going to be Fran Cheska down low. Fran McCarthy. Quickly inbound pass by Spring Arbor. Left wing. It's going to be Bender. Now driving with the basketball, Newsom. Nice spin move. Layup is up and good. And with 18:55 left to go here in the first half, Spring Arbor strikes first, 2-0.
And a great job by Carly Newman, recognizing that her defender was overplaying to one side, spin back to the middle of the lane for a wide-open layup.
Fitzgerald's three-point bucket on the way, and she'll knock it down. Mary Fitzgerald with the three-point bucket gives Holy Cross the lead. 18:34 left to go here in the first half. Bender driving. She'll drive all the way down the lane. Now kick it over to Newsom. Newsom at the top of the key. She'll drive over to Townsley. Townsley drive. Nice pass underneath to Dersenga, and her shot's no good. Rebound DeLucia. DeLucia driving down. Over to Megan Eve. Megan Eve gets away with a walk. And finding DeLucia's attempted pass down low to a wide open Shelby Nelson goes awry. 2 turnovers for the Saints. Here with 18:11 to go, they lead the Cougars 3-2. Newman to inbound the basketball for the Cougars. Checking in early here is Carrie Barnes. She'll check in for Julian DeLucia. Carrie Barnes, a sophomore, averaging 9.6 points a ball game. Bender pushing the ball up for Spring Arbor. Over to Townsley. Townsley will drive. Finds Newman. Newman driving the right side of the lane. Ball is tipped away. Great defense by Mary Fitzgerald. Adam, she had two hands in there a couple times, knocked the ball away.
And good patience by Mary Fitzgerald down low. Instead of going for the ball real quickly and drawing the hand check, she waited for an opportune time, saw the ball, and just didn't hesitate.
Townsley will get it into Garrison. Garrison looking, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Here goes Bender. She'll drive. Her layup's no good. Rebound, Megan Eve. Megan Eve looking up, trying to push it up, and she'll send it over to Mary Fitzgerald, who will take over the point. Fitzgerald, dangerous pass on the left wing to Megan Eve. Megan Eve picks up her dribble. She'll find Carrie Barnes in the far left corner. Back up to Mary Fitzgerald, top of the key. They'll reset the offense. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Shelby Nelson foul line. She tries to get it into Francesca. Knocked away by Garrison, and rebound Newman. 3 turnovers for the Saints. Here's Newman. 3-point bomb on the way. Short. Rebound Francesca McCarthy. Her pass almost tossed away. Great hustle by Megan Eve to get it. She'll get over to Mary Fitzgerald, who will take over the top of the ring. And they'll set up the Holy Cross Saint offense. Megan Eve wide open 3 in the corner. It's going to be short off the front of the rim. Rebound Townsley, and the Cougars are off and running. 2-on-2 run. Over to Bender on the right wing. 3-pointer no good. Rebound Shelby Nelson. And there's going to be a foul on the rebound.
And man, we're in an offensive shootout right now, Pat, in terms of getting shots off as quickly as possible, as both teams are just driving down, making one pass, and taking a 3-point opportunity.
Rachel Drasenga will be called with the foul. Her first, team's first. That's another issue for the Saints is foul trouble. They seem to be solid here. Pass is thrown away by Fitzgerald. Stolen by Newsom. Here on the fast break. Great block by Megan Eve. She'll get it up to Carrie Barnes. She blocked Bender's layup attempt. Carrie Barnes is picked from behind, though. Another turnover 4 for the Saints. Townsley pushing it up court for the Cougars. She'll settle down now, get it over to the sure-handed Carly Bender, the freshman. She'll drive down the lane, spins, kicks it back out to Newman. Newman over to Garrison, 3-point shot on the way, looks good in and out. Rebound Shelby Nelson, her second of the ball game, 16-18 left to play here in the first half. The Saints still lead 3-2.
Garrison, the leading 3-point shooter for Spring Arbor. That's a shooter that you do not want to leave open, shooting 36.4% from beyond the arc.
Great ball movement by the Saints around. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Fitzgerald trying to work it down low. She'll give it over to Carrie Barnes on the left wing. She will drive down the lane and gets the bucket to fall. 5-2. Saints lead the Cougars 15:51 left to play. A 5-point run by the Saints.
Good drive and shot there by Carrie Barnes. I'd like to see Holy Cross try and beat this defense with the pass a little bit. That's how you got to attack the zone, more with through the air than on the dribble.
Spring Arbor with the weave, inside pass. Now kicked around. Townsley left open at the 3-point line. Her 3-point shot is too hard. Rebound Mary Fitzgerald. She'll push it up for the Saints. Looking down court, she'll find Carrie Barnes on the left wing. Barnes will back it back up as Mary Fitzgerald will reset the offense for the Saints. 20 seconds on the shot clock. She'll work right wing. Tries to get it inside to Shelby Nelson. Knocked away, and guess who comes up with it? Carly Newman, the sophomore, 5'9". 17 points a game leading the Cougars. Pass over to the left wing to Garrison. She'll let a 3 fly. No good. Rebound is fought for, and Megan Eve comes up with it. In every game, she seems to be the one that out-hustles the other team. Yeah, Lindsay Stefan waiting to check in for the Saints.
Yeah, she's really the workhorse of this Holy Cross team, Pat. And really on the defensive side, a big reason why she's starting tonight, I can guarantee you, is because of what she does on the defensive side as well as rebounding on the floor.
Shelby Nelson, shot's no good, but she's able to tip it back out. Swing pass over to Megan Eve. Her 3-point bucket's no good. Mary Fitzgerald fights for the rebound. She'll come up with it, a new shot clock for the Saints. And we're going to look down. Somebody's headband came off. So with 25 seconds, we are at the 14:33 mark. A couple changes for the Saints as Kristen Nicka and Lindsay Stefan will check in. Heading to the bench, Megan Eve and Francesca McCarthy. Mary Fitzgerald to inbound the ball from right in front of us. She'll get over to Kristen Nicka and back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald now finds Nicka in the right wing. Foul line extended right. Inside down to Stefan. Knocked away. Townsley comes up with it for the Cougars. Hustling down the court. She will weave it back over to the top of the center of the ring to Bender. Bender drives. Nice spin move at the foul line. Over to Newman. Newman drives left side line. Her layup too hard. Rebound Drasenga. Tipped away by Carrie Barnes as Shelby Nelson's pass back to Barnes is stolen, and Newman comes up with a bucket. 5-4, 14 minutes left to play here in the first half.
And, Pat, that's a 7th turnover for Holy Cross, currently on a pace for more than 40 turnovers so far against this Spring Arbor team. That's simply too many.
Mary Fitzgerald picks up her dribble and nowhere to go as she tries to get it into Shelby Nelson. And as Adam aforementionedly just mentioned, there's another turnover. We're going to have a media timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well. 13:45 left to go in the first half, 5-4 Holy Cross Saints. You're listening to Holy Cross Basketball on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense.
Winston Churchill's immortal words stirred an entire country in the face of certain defeat. Today, these words give each of us the courage to reach for our own victories.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never.
Commitment. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Well, welcome back. 13:45 left to play here in the first stanza, the first half of play from the File Center inside of, or the McKenna Arena inside the File Center. Adam, your thoughts here on the first?
Well, you know, currently, Pat, 8 turnovers in the first half. They're taking advantage of the fact that Spring Arbor hasn't been hitting shots. Communication's a big thing so far. The offense is simply out of sync with 8 turnovers in 6 minutes and 15 seconds. I mean, that's just way too many. And on the other side of the floor, they're defensively, they seem also out of sync and poor defensive rotation. There's been the last few trips wide open jump shots here for Spring Arbor. They're eventually going to knock down those jump shots.
Lindsey Burnside checks in for Spring Arbor. Benner driving down the lane, picked by Jillian DeLucia. Fast break attempt. And her layup is no good, but Lindsey Steffen hustling right behind her. The trailer comes up with the rebound. DeLucia here on the near right wing. She'll look, picks up her dribble. Nika open in the corner. She misses her, but she'll give it up to Carrie Barnes. Now back to Nika. Nika's three-point bucket on the way. No good. Rebound is tipped around by Maggie Gondek, and she'll get called with the foul, a pushing foul. The second foul for Holy Cross here in the first half.
I think they got her for that over-the-back call, and I don't know about that call. As you know, she was going up for the ball. No one had possession. I disagree with that call.
Carly Newman up with the ball. She'll drive over to the right wing. Working on Jillian DeLucia. Now over to Townsley. Inside to Burnside. Burnside at the right foul line extended. Now driving Newman. Newman is hacked on a shot attempt. We'll see. 2 Saints are in the area. They're going to get Jillian DeLucia with the foul. Her first, team's third.
That's just not moving your feet on defense on Jillian DeLucia's part, as she just kind of watched Newman drive and just kind of stuck her arm out and got nothing but the other arm of Carly Newman.
Newman's first free throw attempt is good. We got a tie ball game. The first tie of the afternoon, and it comes with 12:58 left to play here in the first half. Newman dribbles. She'll eye the basket, spins the ball in her left hand, lets it fly. Second lead for Spring Arbor at 6-5. Same time, 12:58 left to play. DeLucia to walk it up. Guarded by Bender. She'll get it over to Nick in the corner. Working inside to Maggie Gondak, tipped away and stolen by Burnside. Burnside on the fast break. She'll pick up her dribble, gets it over to Newman. Newman driving right side of the lane. She'll back it out. Tries to work it inside. Now to the left wing to Garrison. Garrison, nice shot fake. She'll drive. Nice little floater in the lane. And 8-5 as the lead is increased by the Cougars.
Spring Arbor hitting their last couple of field goals. They're starting to hit up those shots and starting to heat up a little bit, Pat. This makes it even more important for Holy Cross to properly rotate and properly communicate.
6-point run by the Cougars. Lindsey Steffen called for a walk at the foul line. Shuffled her feet 11. A little bit. We talked about turnovers are the biggest issue right now for the Saints. Newman to inbound. She'll send it over to Garrison right in front of us and right back to Newman. Newman running the point. She'll dribble right wing, hands off to Townsley. Townsley looking to get it inside to Burnside. Instead, she'll drive and kick out to Newman at the right wing, and three-point bucket, no good. Newman saves it. Burnside with the drive off the right wing, and another foul for the Saints.
And I thought Burnside got away with a little bit of a travel there before she got that shot off, but either way, a nice job by Spring Arbor, nice job by Townsley saving it on that far side corner, and then for a nice job by Burnside knowing that she had numbers and attacked the basket.
Carmen Lowe to check in. Maggie Gondak picks up her second foul, team's fourth. First shot by Burnside is no good. So 11:53 left to play here in the first half. 8-5 is our score. The Cougars lead the Holy Cross Saints here at the McKenna Arena. Burnside's second free throw attempt. This one bounces around and falls. Increases the lead to 4, 9-5 with 11:50 left to play in the first half. Julian DeLucia here on the right wing. She'll send it over to Nika. Nika way outside. She needs to bring it up here. She'll get it over to Lindsay Steffen on the right wing. Now down to DeLucia in the corner. Swinging it back up to the top of the key. Now down to Carmen Lowe. She'll find Carrie Barnes in the corner. Barnes step back, drop back three. No good. And Carmen Lowe can't chase it down in time. The air ball will go out of bounds, and the ball will be turned over to Spring Arbor. 11:28 left to play. 4-point lead for the Cougars. Newman to bring it up. Julian DeLucia to guard Newman. Drives over here to left wing. Garrison. She'll bring it back to the top of the ring. Now over to Bender. Bender drives down the center of the lane. She'll be fouled on the ground before her shot's up. Nika with the violation. The fifth foul for Holy Cross. Now they're going to say she got her in the shooting motion, so Bender to the line. Chance to increase their lead. Bender's first free throw is good. 10-5. 11:14 left to play.
And, you know, when you look at the two game plans coming in here today versus Holy Cross and Spring Arbor doing a great job attacking the rim and drawing a lot of fouls. 5 team fouls for Holy Cross, only 1 for Spring Arbor in that 2-3 zone. That helps out a little bit with the foul situation because it stops the drive. But at the same time, Holy Cross, what they need to do is continue to move the ball, get those open shots. They'll start to fall, just keep shooting them.
Leanne Bender 1 of 2 from the line there. Lindsay Steffen works down inside to Carmen Lowe. Carmen Lowe with the bucket, and that stops an 8-point run as it is now 7-10 with 10:49 left to play. Bender driving down the lane, very aggressive, throws up the shot over her left hand, and rebound goes to Nika. Nika will be fouled by Leanne Porter, who just checked in the ball game for Spring Arbor.
And that's a bad foul there, Paz. That was about 84 feet away from the basket. If you're Coach Frost, you are not happy about that foul.
DeLucia to run the point. Carrie Barnes on the course. Holy Cross in their home whites. Maroon trim on either side. Saints on the front of their jerseys in silver outlined in maroon. Carrie Barnes left wing. She'll work it down wide open to nice entry pass by Carrie Barnes to Carmen Lowe. She scores her 4th point, and we have a 1-point ball game. Cougars leading 10-9.
And Carmen Lowe doing a great job coming off the bench, Pat, providing a spark, as well as Lindsay Steffen. I thought in that last drive she made a nice basket, nice shot fake, nice pass fake, and found a wide open Carmen Lowe under the basket.
Garrison driving down the right lane. She had a step on Lindsay Steffen, unable to finish. 10-9, 10 minutes left to play. Up quickly to Carrie Barnes. Carrie Barnes loses it, and it goes into the hands of Carly Newman, who will get it over to the freshman guard, Carly Bender, who will walk it up for the Cougars. They'll slow it down here. Left wing in and out of the hands. Ball's tipped around and right in the hands of Newman for the Cougars of Spring Arbor. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Newman, left side of the lane, drives. Rebound, Carmen Lowe for the Saints. DeLucia to push it up. She's looking for Carrie Barnes. Can't find her. Inside down to Lindsay Steffen. Steffen puts the ball on the deck, and her shot's no good. Rebound to Leanne Porter.
Just a little too strong off the backboard on that jump shot there, Pat.
Spring Arbor brings the ball now up court. Over to Leanne Porter on the right wing. Ball is tipped around and stolen by Carmen Lowe. 10-9, 9:15 left to play. Nice lead pass by DeLucia, and too hard by Carrie Barnes as her shot's no good. 9:09, the Cougars are going to take their first time out of the ball game, and we will as well. The Spring Arbor Cougars lead the Holy Cross Saints 10-9. You're listening to Holy Cross basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Well, this is Nat King Cole wishing you all a happy and a Merry Christmas.
The joy of living is in the giving. So let's give lots of toys for tots. toys.
Since 1947, the United States Marine Corps has been helping Santa fill his sleigh, making happier holidays for deserving children right in your community. Go to toysfortots.org and learn how you can make a difference.
Welcome back. Carly Newman inbound the ball. She'll hand it to Carly Bender, the two Carlys, the freshman and sophomore for Spring Arbor. Holy Cross into a trap defense, half court. Leanne Porter now to Newman. Newman back over to Bender on the right wing. Now to the corner to Townsley. Nice entry pass from Townsley to Carly Newman, who finishes on the right block. And the lead will be 12-9 with 8:48 left to play in the first half.
I like the change in defense, though, Pat. Defensive pressure, full court pressure was something that Spring Arbor struggled with on Saturday against Bethel.
Shanna Anderson, who just checked in the game, the freshman, is fouled way out on the left wing. That'll be the third team foul for Spring Arbor. Julian DeLucia to inbounds for Holy Cross. She'll get it over to Carmen Lowe, gives it right back. 3-point bucket by DeLucia. We got a tie ball game.
Most dangerous person off an inbounds play, Pat, is the person inbounding the basketball.
Quickly up the court, and Townsley will be called with the traveling ball. And if you're looking to travel, call Cardinal Buses.
The official travel partner of Holy Cross Saints.
Carmen Lowe inbounds it to Julian DeLucia, who will walk it up for the Saints. 8:26 left to play here in the first half. Tie ball game. Carrie Barnes left wing. She'll work off the screen. Finds Jillian DeLucia wide open 3-point bucket, feeling it. No good this time. Rebound fought for and pulled down by Rachel Drasinga. Bender top of the ring. Working on Shanna Anderson, the freshman. Her pass intended for Drasinga. And she zagged when she zigged and zigged when she zagged. Turnover, Cougars.
And I thought Holy Cross got a little bit of a break there. It looked like it went off of Carmen Lowe's left leg, or at least from our angle it did. So, but either way, Holy Cross basketball and another turnover. Spring Arbor, that's their 6th of the first half.
Holy Cross with a chance to take the lead. DeLucia working right wing. Gets it over Carrie Barnes, top of the center of the ring, into Lindsey Steffen. Steffen's pass to Shanna Anderson is no good. Ball's on the ground, and fighting for it is Carmen Lowe and Carly Bender. Nope, Newman was in there, and the ball is going to be a jump ball in favor of the Cougars of Spring Arbor.
Another turnover for Holy Cross. They now have 13 here in the first half. Right now averaging about 1 turnover for every minute of being played here in the game. So they're still averaging about 40, on pace for 40 turnovers today.
Leanne Porter, she'll drive down the center lane, kicks over to Bender, far right wing. Newman, top of the ring. She'll drive right side of the lane. Hard off the right side. The bank shot is open tonight, 14-12.
And you can see why Carly Newman's the leading scorer of this Cougar squad. She comes in averaging 17.9 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, and really the heart and soul of this Cougar team. Bethel had a nice job of getting her in foul trouble early in the first half, which kind of limited her, but so far she's being let loose here against Holy Cross.
Bender off of the rebound and missed shot for Holy Cross. Over to the left wing to Porter. Now to Newman in the left corner. She'll drive, working on Carrie Barnes. Townsley top. Nice little weave offense as driving. Nice steal by Jillian DeLucia off the pass by Bender. Up to Carrie Barnes. She'll pull it back out now. Lindsey Steffen into Carmen Lowe. Double team. Finds a streaking Shanna Anderson. Her shot's no good. Rebound the big Rachel Drasinga, the 6'1" freshman center for the Cougars. Bender pushing it up court. She gets away with a walk, and there's going to be a foul. It's going to be on Shanna Anderson. A little forearm shiver, and we'll have a media timeout. 14-12, 6:29 left to play here in the first half. You're listening to Holy Cross Saint Basketball here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back here to Holy Cross basketball. Pat Doherty along with Adam Demery. Adam, as we look at the stats here through the first 3 quarters of play, anything really step out? Obviously the turnovers for Holy Cross, they're looking at 13, but they've also had 5 steals, and they only trail Spring Arbor by 2.
Well, yeah, the 13 points, or check out 13 turnovers is obviously a big thing. Like I said, they're on pace for another 40 turnover game so far, averaging about 1 per minute. But something positive that jumps off the page at me right now, Holy Cross 6 points off the bench, only 1 for Spring Arbor. The only problem is with all those steals that you're talking about, Pat, 0 fast break points for Holy Cross.
Carly Bender on the line.
Carly Bender to shoot 2 after the foul. Shane Anderson was the one with the foul, her first. Bender's first free throw misses short.
She comes in shooting 50%, but she was shooting 38% against Bethel going into the game against Bethel on Saturday. Able to only miss 2. I believe she went 5 for 7 on Saturday, so she was able to increase her free throw percentage. Makes the second one.
Makes the second one. It's a 3-point lead, 15-12, 6:28 left to play here in the first half. DeLucia to bring it up, crosses midcourt. Over to Shannon Anderson, looking to try to get it in down low. She'll find Shelby Nelson on the left wing. And a offensive foul as Nelson, moving her elbows, knocked over the other freshman, Rachel Jasinga. The referees are meeting now. We'll see what they're discussing. Spring Arbor here in their away jerseys, blue with gold and white streaks on either side. White numbers outlined in gold. Cougars across the chest.
Another big stat for you, Pat. 5 of 8 from the free throw line for Spring Arbor. 0 for 0 for Holy Cross. If you're going to win this game, if you're going to overcome the amount of turnovers that you have, you need to attack and get it back on the free throw line.
Megan Eve back in the game for the Saints, as well as Francesca McCarthy. Benner crosses the 10-second line, guarded by Megan Eve. Over to Townsley, the right wing. She'll work off a screen by Garrison. Drives, kicks it over to Benner in the right corner. She'll bring it all the way over to the left wing and finds Leanne Porter. Leanne Porter driving. Townsley in the corner. Ball is bounced around off the hands. Now over to Porter. Shot clock at 9. Bender driving left side of the lane. Kicks over to Porter. Nice shot fake. She goes up, puts it up. Too hard. In and out of the hands of Shelby Nelson, but she'll chase it down over there on the left baseline. And the rebound to the freshman, hands it off to Julian DeLucia. 15-12. Cougars lead, 5:38 left to play. Shannon Anderson, left wing. Nice give and go to Shelby Nelson. And good ball movement by the Saints. Now inside to Shannon Anderson, and she's fouled.
Here's your first free throw attempts here for Holy Cross in the game. For the fact that it comes at the 5:28 mark of the first half is a little discouraging for Coach Nespajani, but see if they can take advantage of 2 opportunities right now.
Anderson's first free throw is no good. Checking in now for the Cougars, it'll be Carly Newman. Back in, Lindsey Burnside, and checking in for the first time tonight, Jessica Mabry. Shannon Anderson's second free throw. This one's good. 2-point ball game, 13-15. Cougars still lead, 5:28 left to play here in the first half. Newman to bring it up for the Cougars. Guarded by Anderson. Left wing to Garrison. Garrison working on Francesca. She'll drive right side of the lane, kicks it out to Mabry. Mabry over to Newman. Newman driving. Finds Garrison wide open in the corner. The three-pointer, no good. Great box out by Anderson, but even better job by Burnside to come in and steal the rebound. Now, her shot no good. Shelby Nelson with another rebound for the Saints. DeLucia over here to Megan Eve. Working, streaking to Anderson. Now Francesca, great drive. Gets the finger roll in the bucket. Ball game is tied 15-15 for the third time. 4:46 left to play.
Nice move by Fran McCarthy. Able to lower her shoulder, get the sky hook going, and get it working off the shooter's touch.
Newman, right wing, hands off to Townsley. Townsley drives down the right lane, kicks over to Newman. Newman, near side to Mabry. Cross-court pass to Townsley, guarded by DeLucia. Garrison working perimeter. She'll drive to the foul line. Her shot short. Rebound, Shelby Nelson. Nelson really always seems to find herself in good positions for rebounds, Adam Demery.
Yeah, no, she's doing a great job boxing her man out. The problem is whether or not her teammates are going to box their man out, because on that last play that she had the rebound and got it stolen away from her, as she gets a nice job on the backdoor cut, Jillian DeLucia missed a box out assignment, and that allowed for the offensive rebound. Everybody, all 5 players have to box out. It can't just be one person down low and get the defensive rebound.
Nelson shot gives the Saints a 2-point lead as Burnside shot near side baseline, no good. Rebound Megan Eve. Francesca McCarthy now on the left wing, and they'll swing it back around to DeLucia to set up the offense. 3:40 left to play here in the first half. The Saints lead by 2. Near corner, Anderson. Anderson inside now. Great move by McCarthy. Her layup's no good. She gets her own rebound, puts it back up. This time it's good. 4-point lead for the Saints. 19-15, 3:25 left to play in the first half.
And, Pat, the difference between that first move and that second move was her taking her time, focusing on the box above the rim, and putting it right in the right top corner to put it in the basket.
Burnside, wide open Garrison on the right wing. Her 3-point bucket is good.
You cannot leave Garrison wide open 3 times in a row. She will eventually hit that 3-point jump shot. She's shooting 36.4% from beyond the arc. That is a great percentage for a 3-point shooter.
19-18, 2:57 left to play. Saints lead by 1. Megan Eve left wing. She'll drive. Foul is going to be called, I believe, on Nelson. Moving screen. Her second foul. Checking into the game, Mary Fitzgerald and Kristen Nitka. Coming out, Shan Anderson, Julian DeLucia. Now coming in as well as Lindsay Steffen, I'm guessing. Yep, Nelson will go to the bench with 2 fouls with 2:52 left to play here in the first half. Newman to inbound. She'll get it to Garrison and back to Newman. Newman will walk it up. Looking for Mabry, but great defense by Megan Eve. Newman will be guarded by Kristen Nitka. She'll drive, and now back out to Mabry. Townsley, right wing. Center of the ring now to Drasenga. Ball pass to Newman is tipped away. Nitka comes up with the steal. Nice fast break moving by Lindsay Steffen. Her layup is no good. Rebound Drasenga for the Cougars. Newman will push it back up. You can hear the coach Frost to our right saying push it. Garrison now finds Mabry. Great foul or pump fake, and what a nice little floater. 2:15. Spring Arbor takes a lead, 20-19.
Nice shot fake there by Mabry, and like you said, Pat, just a beautiful floater, floating it right over the low post defender and Fran McCarthy for Holy Cross.
Kristen Nitka right in front of our viewing area. Inside, Lindsay Steffen, great ball movement, and she'll be called for the travel.
That's a good call. We'd like to remind our listeners, for all their travel needs, contact Cardinal Bus, the official travel partner of the Holy Cross Saints.
Carly Newman to inbound. Mabry, Garrison, Townsley, and Drasenga in the ball game for the Cougars. Carrie Barnes checks in for the Saints. Megan Eve to the bench. Garrison drives left of the foul line. Now Townsley. She'll drive right lane over to Mabry on the right wing. Mabry finds Garrison. Garrison feeling it. Second three-pointer in a row. Cougars increase their lead to 4, 23-19. 1:31 left to play here in the first half.
She can get hot and real quick.
Mary Fitzgerald with the ball for the Saints over to Carrie Barnes on the left wing. Carrie Barnes works off the high screen now. Inside down to Francesca McCarthy. They're going to get Mabry. Jessica Mabry, a 5'4" sophomore guard. Her first foul, team's 5th. Nice pass by Carrie Barnes in between 2 defenders. Mary Fitzgerald inbounds for the Saints. Looks for Lindsay Steffen, can't find her. Finds Nick instead. Now Carrie Barnes on the left corner. She'll put up the 3, no good. Rebound attempted to be tipped away by Lindsay Steffen, but the sure hands of Carly Newman are too strong. Newman up for the Cougars. She'll drive. Now over to Townsley. Townsley drives right side of the lane. Layup is good. 25-19. A 10-point run by the Cougars here at the end of the first half. 54 seconds left to play. Francesca's 3-point bucket, no good. Rebound Townsley. Cougars pushing it up. 47 seconds left to play in the first half. Garrison, left wing. She'll shake, drive, throws over to Townsley. Now to Mabry. 39 seconds, 18 on the shot clock. Mabry waving him off, giving her, she wants some room to work. Finds Garrison at the top of the ring. Now Newsom and the left wing, she'll drive. Her shot up and good, banks up the back. 27-19. 24 seconds left to play.
If you're Holy Cross, just slow it down, get the last shot before the first half, set up your offense, and run it correctly. Get the confidence of that going into halftime like that. Perfect backdoor cut on Steffen. Got to make that layup, though.
Steffen misses it. Rebound goes to Mabry. Now Townsley running the court. She'll pull up. Her shot with 6 seconds left to play is good, but she gets a little greedy, gets caught with her hand in the cookie jar for a foul with 2.9 left to play here in the first half.
And that's what we call a 4-point swing right there. Lindsay Steffen misses the layup, and Townsley does a nice job. No hesitation. Knows the clock's not her friend, just takes it down and gets a layup.
Fitzgerald will try to get a shot off. Her shot is off, but no good. We'll head into halftime. Spring Arbor leads Holy Cross 29-19. And we'll take a 2-minute timeout. We come back, we'll get halftime stats as well as our thoughts. You're listening to Holy Cross Lady Saint Basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
College softball players Mallory Holtman and Liz Wallace know winning isn't everything.
It's how you hold your head at the end of the game and how you walk off the field.
These two athletes carried their opponent around the bases after she injured herself hitting the winning home run.
What are they doing? Whether you win or lose on the field, if you did the right thing, then you did win. Can they do that?
And they showed us the right thing is sportsmanship.
Way to go, girl!
Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Welcome back to the File Center. We're here at the McKenna Arena. A 14-point run by the Spring Arbor Cougars in the last 3 minutes of the first half has them with a 10-point lead here at halftime. And we're now going to be joined by both Zoe Bauer and Dana Kuda, two of the guards for the men's basketball team. First of all, Zoe, you look at what you guys have been able to do. You strung 6 wins together, a program best. Talk about what has been the difference, what has been the reason for your success here in the last couple ball games.
I think a lot has to do with credit with what Coach McBride's brought in, his defensive principles, and all the guys that bought into it.
We've been able to see you guys, and one of the things, too, is it seems like you're really patient, really spreading the ball around, letting your offense go to you guys on the defensive side. It just seems like there's a pride level there. You're not giving up easy buckets. You're contesting a lot of shots. I've been able to come in at the end of your guys' practice and even your walkthroughs. The intensity you guys practice with only turns over to games. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I do. Coach has got 4 overall principles, 2 on D and 2 on offense. On defense, it's stop the ball and get the ball. And on offense, it's sureness and shot opportunity. And with the walkthroughs, like you said, we're doing so much extra stuff with the film sessions, the walkthroughs, everything that we didn't do last year, and it's really showing.
Well, it's one of those things. You guys have a week off now. You play, I believe, Purdue North Central.
Purdue Calumet.
Purdue Calumet, exactly.
Winning streak.
And so you guys get them in a week. Do you feel like that extra time gives you a little bit more time to prepare?
Absolutely. Last week we had the same kind of deal. We've off all week, Alabama on Saturday, and so now we have all week to prepare for them. So we'll start hitting it heavy tomorrow.
Now, before we welcome in Dana Kuda, the one thing I like about your game is against Olivet, the shooting. The scoring wasn't there as it has been early in the year, but you didn't let yourself get down. You stepped up on the defensive side. You found your teammates. You hit a couple free throws that were huge late in the ball game. Just talk about kind of that mentality of yourself when you know it's not your night. And basketball players, that happens. You're not always going to have great shooting nights, but you didn't let yourself go in the tank. You decided, hey, I'll step it up on the defensive side and get the ball to the guys who are playing well tonight.
That's exactly it. You're having an off shooting night. You should never have an off defensive night. That's one thing Coach McBride has stressed as well. So that really showed Saturday too.
Well, good stuff. We'll welcome in Dana Kuda. Thanks, Zoe.
No problem.
Hey, best of luck. You're on the road, so best of luck. We won't be the rest.
Saturday.
That's right.
It's here. Purdue Calumet.
Jeez, wow. You can tell I've had our schedule this week has been kind of crazy. Welcome in Dana Kuda. Dana, how you doing? First of all.
Wait. You're supposed to be on.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good. Sorry.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing?
Good. How about the weather? We know you're from California. We got negative 10 degrees outside.
I know. It was. I woke up to some. Do you guys have Instagram?
Yeah.
I woke up to Instagram. I saw it was 1 degree outside and with a negative wind chill. It's rough, but I'm getting used to it because it's my 4th year here, so
yeah,
it's not as bad now.
Being your 4th year here, Dane, obviously being the point guard, the leader of this new offense that Coach McBride's installed, and all that, and being the leader on the floor. Talk about your responsibilities, how they've changed from last year to this year.
It's changed because his philosophy is way different. So he's more defensively oriented. So we're just grinding it out on defense, getting it done.
I talk about when you look at the evolution of what Coach McBride, he's a very intense coach. Yeah. You can tell that you guys have kind of taken that mentality onto the court. You guys play very intensive on the defensive side. A little bit different than what Schemerhorn had. Do you like, obviously the success has been there. Is it something that everybody took to right away, or did it take a little bit of getting used to?
It took a little bit to get used to. I mean, we're still getting used to it now. He's always honest in practice. But every game has just been improving over the last couple games. So,
well, let's talk about. We just talked with Zoe Bauer, obviously one of the great shooters here on your team. Drew Moore, another great shooter on your team. Talk about as a point guard how easy that makes your job when you know you're driving. You got 2 great shooters to kick it out to.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier for me when I have 2 great shooters around me, and perimeter players are playing awesome as well. So if we throw it inside, we get easy kickouts. And I like to. Last year I didn't drive as much, but this year I'm looking to drive a little bit more, so it creates open shots for them.
Well, that's one thing. Last year we saw you play, and at times, I don't want to use the word timid, but it almost seemed like you weren't really confident in sometimes with your driving ability. This year, your confidence level's up. Your play has been spectacular. You talk about you're almost a facilitator of the ball at times. You find the guy with the hot hand. Overall, I think your game has stepped up a lot. Was that a lot of off-season work? Has that been Coach McBride, kind of the way his system has been?
Yeah. This summer, I put in a lot of work. Just I knew I had to come out aggressive for my last year and just work on that and get people open. I've never been a selfish player, really. So
I think that was the term last year. Sometimes you were not selfish when you should have been. You'd pass up the shot to give the ball off to somebody else.
Don't get mad at me now. Like I'll pass up some shots. They tell me to shoot it. I'm like, it just doesn't seem open, and I'm hesitant out there.
Well, the thing is, when you shoot it, it seems to go down more often than it doesn't. You're having a great season.
The shot is so good.
Well, let's get your final thoughts on this first half so far with the lady team.
Honestly, they look a little slow out there, sluggish. Just not what we're used to seeing. So hopefully the second half they'll come out stronger with some more intensity and energy.
Yeah, we look at it. Turnovers have been an issue for them, and especially in this first half. But they're playing great the last 3 minutes, though. We talk about having to have that ability to close out a half. They give up 14 straight points in the last 3 minutes of the ball game. As a player, what do you think Coach is talking about in the locker room? What do they have to make changes on coming out here in the second half?
Tough question.
Put you on the spot, Dane.
Like you said, though, the turnovers, like the last game at Olivet, they have a press that they do, and it costs a lot of turnovers. But
well, not only that, but the crazy running in and out every 5 seconds.
Yeah, they got the coach probably told them to keep the turnovers down and just smart passes, sureness.
Well, enjoy your week off. Purdue Cal coming up. Best of luck. Hopefully we'll see 7 straight wins for the Holy Cross Saints. But so far it's been a great season for you guys. Keep it up.
Hopefully we could end it going into winter break with some strong games.
Well, best of luck. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Dane Akuda and Zoe Bauer, we appreciate both the guys stopping by and on the half-game show. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, Adam Demery and I will break down the first half of action. Again, that Purdue-Cal game will be right here. Adam Demery, I believe you will be here for that doubleheader.
Yes,
Am I correct? So, Adam, thank you for
with Matt Copsey and Dwayne Lewandowski.
And that's probably why I thought it was on the road, is that I did not have any part in that game. I bet that's this Saturday. I'll be on the road.
Yeah,
I will actually be on the road with Paul Condry with the Bethel men's basketball team in
the legend himself.
We'll be over in St. Joe Rensselaer as the Bethel Saints. They're in action tonight as well. You can hear all of Holy Cross men's and women's basketball as well as Bethel men's and women's basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. So we'll take that 2-minute timeout. We come back, we'll break down the stats. You're listening to Holy Cross Saint Basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
College softball players Mallory Holtzman and Liz Wallace know winning isn't everything.
It's how you hold your head at the end of the game and how you walk off the field.
These two athletes carried their opponent around the bases after she injured herself hitting the winning home run.
What are they doing? Whether you win or lose on the field, if you did the right thing, then you did win. Can they do that?
And they showed us the right thing is sportsmanship.
Way to go, girl!
Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continued to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
You get to the top, get hooked in, and then you look over the edge. I was like, no way am I jumping off this tower. I'm staying right here. I'm like, am I ever going to be good enough to be a Marine? When it was all said and done, watching the color guard raise the American flag, I thought, I am a United States Marine.
PFC Keith Palka knows you don't join the Marines, you become one. Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Welcome back. We're halftime, 29-19. Spring Arbor runs a 14 points straight off the board as they go into halftime with the 10-point lead. We'll send it over to Adam Demery for all the halftime stats right here at the McKenna Arena. Adam?
Well, Pat, for Spring Arbor coming in here in that first half, shooting 37.9% from the field, hitting 11 of 29 shots, 2 of 9 from the three-point line, both shot three-pointers being made by Jessica Garrison, the leading three-point shooter for Spring Arbor. She's coming in shooting 22% from the three-point line. From the free throw line, they are 5 of 8 for 62.5%. And looking at the scorecard, it all starts off with their leading scorer, number 11, Carly Newman, with 10 points, 2 total rebounds, 4 steals in 19 minutes of play. 2 points for Carly Bender, their point guard, along with 4 turnovers. 6 points for Kylie Townsley, 2 total rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. 8 points for Jessica Garrison, including 2 of 5 from the three-point line, 2 rebounds in 17 minutes of play. 2 points for Jessica Mabry and 1 point for Lindsey Burnside, bringing their total to 29 points in the first half. For Holy Cross, they were shooting the 30% from the floor, hitting 8 of 26 shots, 2 of 10 from the three-point line for 20%, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line for 50%. Their leading scorer here in the first half, 2 players with 4 points. Fran McCarthy with 4, as well as Carmen Lowe with 4 points, and 3 points for Jillian DeLucia with 1 rebound and 3 steals on the first half. Mary Fitzgerald also with 3 points, 2 rebounds, and a block here in the first half. Shelby Nelson, 2 points, 5 total rebounds, and a steal in 10 minutes of play. 4 points for Fran McCarthy, 2 rebounds, and an assist in 12 minutes of play. 2 points for Carrie Barnes, 4 points for Carmen Lowe, and 1 point for Shayna Anderson to go along with an assist for that first half. In the points breakdown a little bit further in the paint, Spring Arbor with the lead there, slim margin, 12 points to 10 points. 12 points off of turnovers for Spring Arbor. Holy Cross not taking advantage of their turnovers as they have 0 points off of the total of 8 turnovers for Spring Arbor. Second chance points, Holy Cross leads the category 2-1, and the bench, they also lead 7-3. Once again, the first half score, 29-19 in favor of the Spring Arbor Cougars.
The biggest stat, I think, here at halftime, Adam Demery, and you were the basketball mind. I have the observer, you were the player. 12 points off of turnovers for Spring Arbor. And not only that, Holy Cross led this ball game 19-15 with 3:25 left to go in the first half. Spring Arbor runs off 14 straight, unanswered. They find themselves up 10 points. Real quickly, we got a minute before we go back. What are the keys, Adam Demery? What does Holy Cross have to do to get back in this ball game?
first off, limit turnovers. 16 turnovers in that first half is way too many, almost averaging 1 turnover per minute. They're now on pace for 32 turnovers here in the contest. That's just simply too many. I told you in the pregame, I think 23 or less is the magic number, so if they can somehow get that, I think they can pull this victory out. As well as communication on the defensive side, I think Holy Cross needs to do a little bit better with their defensive rotations, as Jessica Garrison had a couple of wide open three-point looks that she was able to knock down there late in the first half, which helped contribute to that 14-0 run that Spring Arbor currently is on.
Starting second half is a starting lineup for Holy Cross. McCarthy now inside to Shelby Nelson. Great spin move and a bucket. 21, 29, 19, 50 left to play here in the second half of play. Newman over to Garrison, left wing. She'll rotate over to the center. Now Townsley, she'll drive. And her pass intended for Drasenga will be tipped out of play by Francesca McCarthy. So for the Saints, Megan Eve, Mary Fitzgerald, Shelby Nelson, Julian DeLucia, and Francesca McCarthy. For Spring Arbor, Townsley, Drasenga, Newman, Bender, and Garrison. Townsley now over here, the right wing, right in front of us, over to Newman. Newman working on DeLucia. She'll get over to Benda. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Now Townsley. She'll drive down the right side of the lane. And a foul. They're going to get Mary Fitzgerald. I believe that's her second foul, Adam Demery.
Yes, that is her second foul, and that is the first team foul here in the second half. In that first half, Holy Cross had a total of 8 team fouls.
Bender, right wing. She's working on Megan Eve. Now over to Newman. Mary Fitzgerald draws her. Townsley, left wing. Pass inside is stolen by Shelby Nelson. First turnover in the second half, and it goes to the Cougars. DeLucia walks it across the 10-second line. She'll drive over here to the left wing, trying to get it down into Shelby Nelson. Nelson sets a pick instead. DeLucia, backdoor pass to Nelson. Now back out to DeLucia. 14 seconds. In and out, back to Nelson. Nelson out to McCarthy. McCarthy puts up the three-point bucket. And the three-point bucket is good. 24-29, 18:46 left to play.
That is Fran McCarthy's first three-pointer of the game and first three-pointer of the season. She is now 1 of 6 from the three-point line.
Nice weave offense here by Spring Arbor. Garrison drives right foul line. Sends it over to Bender. Bender now to Newman, the leading scorer for the Cougars. She'll back down Mary Fitzgerald. That'll be a foul on her. Her second of the second half.
Second of the game as well. We thought she had 2. That was her first.
5-point ball game, 18:27 left to play. Cougars with the lead. Bender, left wing now to Townsley. Townsley back to Bender. Bender driving down the lane. She'll find Newman. A deep three-point bomb on the way, and it's good. 32-24, 18-13 left to play here in the ball game. DeLucia to walk it up, guarded by Townsley. DeLucia left wing. Shelby Nelson posts up. Drasenga double team down on the block. Finds a cutting DeLucia. Her layup is no good. Rebound Garrison. And Francesca with the bump. And ill-advised play there. She's going to knock down Bender for the foul. Third foul here in the second half. Second for Fran McCarthy. Checking in the ball game for Mary Fitzgerald will be the sophomore Carrie Barnes. Barnes on the year is averaging 9.6 points a ball game. Good for second best on the team. Newman over to Garrison. Garrison will drive on McCarthy. Backs her down, spin move, layup no good. Rebounds tipped around. Garrison gets it and puts it back up. And quickly a 4-point run back by the Cougars. 34-24 leads back to 10. 17:25 to play.
Nice job there by Jessica Garrison following her shot, able to get the offensive rebound, and able to put up the nice 7-footer.
DeLucia with the pass inside to Nelson. She'll work on Drasenga, and she'll get fouled, puts it in the bucket. Are they going to get? They're going to get, I believe,
Garrison,
Jessica Garrison.
That's her first.
So 26-34. Chance for the three-point play by Nelson. Big knee bench. She'll knock it down. 27-34, 17-13 left to play in the ball game. Back and forth we go. Garrison driving down the lane now. She'll find Townsley in the corner. She'll work it back up to the top of the ring over to Bender. Bender will drive. Her pass is out of bounds. She was trying to get it to Rachel Drasenga. A little bit too high. 17 left to play in the ball game, and we've got a 7-point game. Nice to see members of the men's basketball team here to support the Lady Saints. The men, a school record, 6 straight wins. Megan now to Fitzgerald. Francesca McCarthy will drive the right wing. Tipped around. Nelson couldn't come down with it for the Saints. Instead, it'll be Drasenga. Bender to push it up. Townsley, she'll cut. Spin move. Layup is partially blocked, I believe, by DeLucia, who comes away with the rebound. DeLucia pushing it up for the Saints. She'll drive. Find Carrie Barnes, who thinks about a 3. Instead, will drive. Ball is tipped away. They're going to call Drasenga, I believe, on a foul.
I think they got Bender, actually, on that one.
No, we were both wrong. They got Newman. Newman with the reach-in foul. 5 fouls for the Cougars in the second half. DeLucia inbound for the Saints. She'll find Carrie Barnes, the top of the ring. She thinks about a 3. Pump fakes, drives, and the bucket. 29-34, 16-16 left to play in the second half.
And that's a great job by Carrie Barnes, recognizing she had no room to shoot the 3, and that knowing that Bender was kind of cheating up on her when she in her defensive position, knowing that she could beat her on the dribble, getting right around Bender and in for an open layup. Good job there. Good decision by the guard for Holy Cross.
Timeout for the Cougars. We'll take a timeout as well. They lead the Saints 34-29, 15-59 left to play here in the second half. You're listening to Holy Cross Saint Basketball, brought to you by Gates on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
The entire world watched. They watched each step down the rungs of that small ladder, one after another, and waited with great anticipation for that last step.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
At that moment, humanity saw the impossible become the possible, and today the sky is not the limit. Achievement. Pass it on.
Welcome back to the McKenna Arena inside the File Center. If you're driving around on Thursday nights, join the Coach's Box on 91.1 The Globe at Beef Brady. It's the corner of State Road 23 and Bittersweet and Granger. Garrison on the right wing. Her shot is good. 36-29. 15:49 to play.
And Jessica Garrison has found her jump shot, Pat.
She has been hot. Mary Fitzgerald working on the left wing. She's working on Townsley. Screen by Shelby Nelson, the give and go. Nice bucket, 31-36, the freshman with a bucket, 15:32 to play.
And good ball movement there on the man-to-man defense that Spring Arbor now coming out here in the second half. They played a lot of 2-3 zone in that first half. Holy Cross doing a lot better job with the ball movement here going against man-to-man.
Townsley's three-point bucket, no good. Nelson comes up with the rebound for the Saints. Hands it over to Mary Fitzgerald. She'll run the point. Fitzgerald, Barnes, Eve, Shelby Nelson, and Francesca McCarthy in the game for the Saints. Nice pass in down to Nelson. Nelson is taken over. That is her 4th straight point, 33-36. We've got a 3-point ball game with 15 left to play here in the second half. Townsley, right corner. She'll drive. Ball tipped away, swatted away, blocked by Mary Fitzgerald. Francesca McCarthy up to Carrie Barnes on the right wing. Barnes will work it back around. Mary Fitzgerald resets to the offense. 14:37 to play in the second half. Left wing, Fitzgerald trying to work it down low. Finds Shelby Nelson. Nelson again. She's fouled and the bucket. A chance to tie the game with 14:27. They keep feeding the freshman. She keeps delivering.
It's clear now that Coach Nespigiani has a great low post player in Shelby Nelson to build this team around. That is the 3rd straight time down the floor. They get the ball over to the left wing with Mary Fitzgerald, run the pick and roll, and she is wide open. Spring Arbor has no idea what to do on that pick and roll. They're both coming out and guarding Mary Fitzgerald on the left wing, and leaving Shelby Nelson wide open down low is just not the answer for Spring Arbor.
Nelson converts the 3-point play, tie ball game, 36-36. Bender, right wing, over to Townsley. Townsley with the travel. She moved her pivot foot.
And we'd like to remind all of our listeners, for all of your travel needs, Cardinal Bustle, Cardinal Bus, the official travel partner of Holy Cross Saints.
Fitzgerald working on Townsley to the left wing, and they're going to set it up again. Finds Nelson, the left foul line extended. She passes into Megan Eve. Reverse layup is good. The Saints take their first lead since the 3:25 mark left in the first half. 38-36, 14 to play. And another travel, back-to-back turnovers and immediate timeout. We're going to stay right here, though. Adam, I want you to break down what has been the difference here in the first 6 minutes of play in the second half.
Well, plain and simple, it seems like the offense of Holy Cross is now in sync. They know where everyone's going to be on the floor. They know where their teammates are going to be. Everybody's on the same page, which is very encouraging if you're Amy Litka-Nespajani on the sidelines there. And if you're Shelby Nelson, you are doing a great job setting the pick, rolling to the basket. If the shot's there, you're taking it. You're drawing the contact. You're focusing on the backboard. And if the shot isn't there, on that last play we just saw, Megan Eves doing a great job moving without the ball and finding a wide open spot right there in the defense, doing a nice job on that reverse layup, giving the lead, the 2-point lead here for Holy Cross with 13:53 left in regulation.
This media timeout has been brought to you by Gates. Gates, a company based on honesty and integrity, family-owned and operated, 83 years here in the Michiana area. The Gates of Granger, Gates Toyota Scion in South Bend, Gates on Ireland Road, and Gates in Mishawaka as well.
And another big reason that Holy Cross now was down at 10 at halftime and now has a 2-point lead. They have 0 turnovers in the second half. My magic number for Holy Cross, 23 or less. Right now at 16. They had 16 in the first half, 0 in the second half to go along with 4 for Spring Arbor. And they're scoring off the turnovers, 5 points so far here in the second half off turnovers. They had 0 at halftime.
A chance to do it again here. Mary Fitzgerald to walk the ball up. She'll work on the left wing. A little zone defense by Spring Arbor.
Back
Carrie
to the
Barnes.
2-3.
Right wing, over to Megan Eve. They'll work it inside to Shelby Nelson. Carrie Barnes wide open for a 3, no good. Rebound goes to Lindsay Burnside, who just checked back in. Bender to bring the ball up for Spring Arbor.
And on that last possession, I really like the ball movement of Holy Cross against the 2-3 zone. Like I said, you cannot beat a zone on the dribble. That's what it's designed to defeat. You need to move the ball, hit the man in the middle like they did with Shelby Nelson, and look opposite as that guard is wide open every time on the opposite pass.
Townsley gets away with the travel, and Newman will knock down the 3-point bucket. Spring Arbor will retake the lead, 39-38, 13 left to play. Drive is no good. Rebound goes to Garrison. The Cougars will push it up. Newman to drive down the right side of the lane. Carrie Barnes, great defense. Out to Bender, 3-point bucket on the way. Short. Rebound goes to Megan Eve. Over here to Mary Fitzgerald. She'll slow it down for the Saints. 12:40 left to play here in the second half. They're going to fall back into the 2-3 zone, as Adam mentioned. Nice high screen and a great pass inside to Nelson, blocked away by Burnside. Newman on the fast break. Mary Fitzgerald, she'll cross her over. Layup no good, rebound Shelby Nelson. Nelson, great getting back on that transition.
Yeah, a great job by Shelby Nelson to recognize she just got her shot blocked, and instead of putting her head down and pouting out there on the floor, she got down on the floor, realized that there was a fast break opportunity, ran down and got the defensive rebound. Great job there by the freshman.
Megan Eve in her pass inside to Francesca McCarthy is tipped away. And the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say it went off of Megan Eve. Though I think she's lucky. She's complaining. I believe it did go off of Bender, but she, I think, got away with a push. Could have been a foul.
Well, she was definitely unhappy with the call, pleading her case to the referee.
Newman inbounds it to Garrison. Garrison up right wing. She'll get it over to Leanne Porter, who just checked in. Now Newman working on Barnes. Over to Bender. Bender driving. Over back to Porter. Newman now with 8 seconds left. She pops and drops. Sinks it. 41-38. 11:30 left to play. The Saints need to be careful. The Cougars are very capable of going off on a run here. And a turnover for the Saints, their first of the second half. As McCarthy's
that's their second. They now have 18 turnovers for the game as Maggie Gondek comes back in.
Yep, Francesca McCarthy and Shelby Nelson head to the bench. Lindsay Steffen, Maggie Gondek come in. Kristen Nicka is going to come in for Megan Eve. So Carrie Barnes, Kristen Nicka, Lindsay Steffen, Maggie Gondek, and Mary Fitzgerald as a full court press by the Saints.
This is what Spring Arbor struggled with against Bethel over there on Saturday.
First time this afternoon they go with it, and Cougars able to break the press. Newman, hot hand, spinning move in the lane. She'll give it over to Garrison at the three-point line. Sinks the three.
Jessica Garrison.
They're going to have a foul. Loose ball, they're going to see if they're going to count the bucket.
Basket's good.
Basket is good, but foul on Newman. So 44-38, the lead is increased to 6. 11:04 left to play. And another 8-point run here by the Cougars.
It's really been a game of runs here, Pat, so far.
We'll see if the Saints can put one together themselves. Fitzgerald working on the right wing. She'll get it over to Barnes. Barnes trying to work it inside. Fitzgerald. Barnes wide open for the three. She'll shoot it. And it is off. No good. Rebound goes to Newman, and it's batted around. Burnside now on the outlet. She'll pull it back. Sends it over to Newman, top of the ring. Back to Burnside, who kicks it. No call. And they're going to call a white ball. That ball clearly went off of Mary Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a makeup call, if you will, for the no call.
Kick. So Fitzgerald will bring it up. 10:30 left to play here in the ball game. 44-38. The Cougars lead the Saints. Fitzgerald now to Nick in the corner. Inside pass to Gondek. She's pushed. No call. Slapped around, and they're going to keep the ball there for the Saints. They've swallowed the whistles here in the last 4 minutes, Adam.
And on that last inbound or entry pass down low, Maggie Gondek's got to be a little less passive with the ball, more aggressive, and really sweep the ball through the defenders and find the open man. Because she's double teamed, obviously that means someone's open.
Maggie's shot is partially blocked by Burnside. Newman to bring it up. Garrison, top of the key over to Bender. She'll drive, kick it to Porter. Porter with a little bit of a push off. She'll find Bender, and we're going to have a foul here as Bender was shoved.
You know, Mary Fitzgerald, that's her third.
That's the team's fourth here in the second half. So they inbound the ball, Leanne Porter. She'll find Newman on the right wing. Thinks about a three, pulls it down. Sends it over to Garrison. Misses Burnside wide open underneath. Newman with Gondek in her face. Knocks down the three-point bucket. And we're going to have a timeout for Holy Cross as another run for Spring Arbor gives them a 9-point lead. And we're going to take a break as well. You're listening to Holy Cross Saint Basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
He wanted to be known for doing his best. Sure, right. His best made him Major League Baseball's most valuable player. Strike two. He played in 6 World Series and was elected to the Hall of Fame. Although an honest man, he was best at stealing home. But the best quality of Jackie Robinson's life was his character. So here's to you, Mr. Robinson. Thanks for passing it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Brooke Ellison is a surprising person.
When I was 11 years old, I was hit by a car, and no one expected me to live.
She surprised people by living.
I've been paralyzed from the neck down and on a ventilator since that time.
And she surprised them by going to college.
Tomorrow, I will graduate from Harvard.
Brooke Ellison.
Determination. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
As we come back here, the Cougars lead 47-38. I want to take this quick time to say that our thoughts and prayers from the Regional Radio Sports Network team go out to Sarah Crane's family as the 15-year-old Elkhart Memorial student passed away with her fight with cancer. She had stage 4 colon cancer. Her shirt touched a lot of people, her toughness, her mental toughness as well. And our thoughts and prayers to the family. Lindsey Steffen finds Carrie Barnes in the left corner. Barnes back up to Mary Fitzgerald. She'll reset over to Nika. Nika looking to try to get the ball inside. She does, Carrie Barnes. Denied. Great defense by Garrison. Nika, right wing, three-point bucket is good. 41-47, 6-point game, 9:19 left to play.
Good ball movement there by Holy Cross. That's a big reason why they were able to get a wide-open three-point look for Nika. Instead of attacking on the dribble in that 2-3 zone, they just moved the ball across the perimeter.
Bender. She'll drive to the foul line, kick it back out to Newman left wing. Newman will drive. She stops. Great penetration by Newman. Her shot's a little too hard. Rebound, Mary Fitzgerald. Inbound pass now down in the lane. Great pass. Great defense by Garrison as she swats. Carrie Barnes shot. That ball will go off in Newman, and it'll be a Holy Cross basketball, so the turnover for the Cougars. 8:50 left to play, 47-41. Gondek comes out. Shelby Nelson right back in. Fitzgerald with the inbound. She'll find Nelson. Nelson's shot is no good. Good defense by Burnside for the Cougars. Garrison with the run. She'll find Bender. Bender will pull it back out. Now streaking is Burnside. Got away with the travel. Mary Fitzgerald with the ball. She'll push it up. Nika inside now to Lindsay Steffen. Her pass to Nelson is tipped away, but Nelson comes back up with it. She just wanted it more, Adam. Fitzgerald with the ball, 17 on the shot clock. Nika, left wing. Ball is tapped out of bounds by Jessica Garrison. 12 seconds on the shot clock. 6-point ball game. Fitzgerald looking. She'll find Nelson. Back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald will drive. A travel. She'll get away with it. You could hear Frost to our left call for it. Steffen's shot no good. We're going to get a jump ball. That'll go to the favor of the Cougars, who lead it by 6 with 8:11 left to play.
19 turnovers now total for the game for Holy Cross. They have 3 here in the second half, which they've drastically cut that as they had 16 in the first half, and now Spring Arbor with 14 turnovers themselves. The biggest stat line off those turnovers, 17 points for Spring Arbor, only 5 for Holy Cross here in the game so far. As Garrison drives to the right, layup up, no good. She'll be fouled by Shelby Nelson, though.
Fouls on number 35, Shelby Nelson. For third.
So Nelson with the foul.
Garrison on the line.
Garrison at the free throw line. First free throw attempt is good. 48-41 with 8 minutes left to play. So Shelby Nelson will inbound the ball as Garrison knocks them both down. 49-41, an 8-point lead with 8 minutes left to play. DeLucia working at the top of the ring. She's working on Bender. Pass inside to Nelson. They're going to double teamer. She'll spin move. Her shot's no good. Rebound Burnside. They'll get it over to the freshman, Bender. Now over to Newman, the leading scorer. She'll drive down the right side of the lane. Her shot is good. 51-41. Lead is back to 10. 7:35 to play. Carrie Barnes working on the right corner. She gets it over to DeLucia. Barnes now at the top of the ring. Shannon Anderson, who just checked in, 3-point bucket, no good. Rebound, Jessica Garrison for Spring Arbor. 7:15.
Holy Cross starting to panic a little bit, Pat, as they're just trying to get one pass, 3-point shot up there as they trail by 10. There's plenty of time for Holy Cross to get back in this game. They just got to settle down the defensive side.
Garrison's 3-pointer no good. Carmen Lowe goes to track it down. Ball's on the ground. Carrie Barnes comes up with it. Her foot's on the out of bounds line, and it'll be a Spring Arbor ball. Leanne Porter to throw it in. Garrison's going to come out. Townsley is back in for Spring Arbor. So Townsley, Burnside, Newman, Bender, and Porter. Townsley will now pass it in. She finds Burnside in the near side. Guarded by Carmen Lowe. Ball is tipped. Great defense by Carmen Lowe. DeLucia is fouled as she dove for the ball. The foul will be on Leanne Porter. The 5th team foul here in the second half for Spring Arbor. McCarthy to check back in for Carmen Lowe. Silent night for Carmen Lowe came into tonight. The sophomore averaging 9.4 points per ball game. She only has 4.
Yeah, 4 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Not a typical Carmen Lowe night, but still a productive one off the bench.
DeLucia, pass inside, is picked off by Burnside, but great defense by Shelby Nelson. Come back up with the steal. McCarthy works it in off of the knee of Nelson. Nelson will track it down. And a tripping, blocking call against Burnside. That'll be the 6th team foul on Spring Arbor. 10-point ball game, Adam Demery, 51-41 with 6:28 left to play.
Yeah, I still say there's enough time here with the 10-point deficit for Holy Cross if they can still run their offense, make sure their passes are clean and crisp. And with this 2-3 zone, you got to make sure you're attacking it with the pass, and a nice job there, or just get it down to Shelby Nelson because it seems to be working here tonight.
Nelson again, her second chance for a 3-point play. As she gets fouled, puts it in. 43-51.
She now has 16 points for the game.
6:24 left to play. I'll tell you what, huge momentum swing right there for the Saints. She can knock this down, and she does. 44-51, a 7-point game with 6:24 left to play.
And she's got 15 here in the second half. Shelby Nelson does, a big reason why Holy Cross is back in this game.
Porter driving. She'll find Townsley in the corner. 3-point bucket on the way, no good. Chasing it down, Carrie Barnes. Barnes pushing it up for the Saints. She'll get it over to Julian DeLucia, the senior guard. Working on Bender, left wing. Trying to get it down to Shelby Nelson. She'll cross-quarter to Carrie Barnes. Now McCarthy at the top of the key. DeLucia now. Quick pass into Nelson, and she's automatic. 2-point bucket is good, 46-51. We're going to have a timeout for Spring Arbor. And we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Holy Cross Saint Basketball, brought to you by Gates, right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
To rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
And all was Benjamin Franklin wise. So you actually think electricity can pass through metal? Ha! Ben Franklin, go fly a kite.
Excellent idea. Where are my keys?
Besides the bifocals, Ben invented the Franklin stove,
the
odometer, and the lightning rod. Ingenuity, pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Former Bethel standout.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
We're back live, the McKenna Arena. Holy Cross with a little bit of a run of their own as they're able to put together 5 points to get themselves within 5 with 5:50 left to play here in the ball game. Adam Demery seems like feed the ball to Shelby Nelson.
Yeah, you put Burnside on her, you can put Jersenga on her, you can put whoever you want on her if you're Spring Arbor, but apparently Shelby Nelson is just going to flat out score 19 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals in 22 minutes of play. She is clearly the reason why Holy Cross is within 5 here with 5:50 left in the second half. I would say just keep feeding her ball all night long, and you'll quickly get the lead back here if you do so.
Townsley brings the ball up. She'll cross-court it to Bender. Bender drives, foul line. Her shot, banks, no good. Tipped away into the arms of Carrie Barnes. DeLucia quickly up court, and that is one of the things that the Saints have struggled with that time. Leads Shelby Nelson a little bit too much. The turnover for the Saints will give the ball right back to the Cougars.
There is absolutely no reason for that pass from DeLucia. Absolutely none. The 3 defenders around Shelby Nelson. I understand trying to get Shelby Nelson the ball. We just talked about it. You need to do that. But with 3 defenders around her, and she was the only Holy Cross Saint down the floor, there was no reason for that pass.
Garrison drives, and she'll be fouled. They're going to get Shelby Nelson with that foul, her 4th.
She's going to have to take a seat here. That's a big foul for Holy Cross.
When you look at what I like the aggressiveness of DeLucia. I love the way she plays the game. She's 110% the whole time, and you can't teach that kind of play. As Garrison's first free throw is good, and that'll be a 6-point lead now for the Cougars. But I agree. Sometimes you got to reel it in. In that situation, you have a chance to close the gap to potentially 4 or 3. Depending on what shot you get, and you just got to be a little bit more patient. Garrison misses her second free throw, low with the rebound.
I agree. There is absolutely no problem with effort And Holy Cross has a lot of it. I mean, you look at the girls on this team, there is no lack of effort in the games that they're losing. But the problem is they don't know when to reel it back in. They don't know when to slow it down, set up the offense. It's always 110%, 0 to 60 the entire time for 40 minutes of play. You cannot win games like that. That's the reason they have 21 turnovers, and that's the reason they had 40 turnovers over the weekend. You're just not in sync when you're going 0 to 60 all the time. You have to know when to pull out and when to run the offense and when to make the other team play defense and slow the game down. There is no problem. I have no problem with the running gun system, but there's a reason it doesn't work all the time, because when you have a 7 seconds or less system all the time, you cannot win that way in 40 minutes of play.
Carrie Barn to right wing. Megan Eve now swings it over to DeLucia. McCarthy inside of Carmen Lowe. They'll swing it back. DeLucia will drive down the right lane. She'll be fouled. Shot is no good.
And see that right there, that's a great drive there by Jillian DeLucia, knowing that she had a step on her defender. She could draw the foul, and now she's going to the line for 2 shots here. And when you're down in a college game, in a college setting, the biggest thing is scoring when the shot or when the clock is not moving. Scoring when there's no time taken off the clock is huge in any game when you're trying to come back, especially from a 6-point lead with 4:41 left to go.
DeLucia's first free throw is no good. Second one is. It's 47-52, 5-point ball game, 4:41 left to play. Checking into the ball game will be Mary Fitzgerald. So it's Mary Fitzgerald, Megan Eve, Carrie Barnes, the smaller lineup, Carmen Lowe and Francesca McCarthy. Townsley driving, and that'll be a travel.
I was going to say.
It was great defense by McCarthy over there on the wing as she forced that pass to be a second late.
She read the eyes of Townsley, knowing that she was trying to get a pass along the baseline, and a great job there, like you said, Pat.
A chance to bring the game within 5. 4:27 left to play. Megan Eve into Carmen Lowe. Carmen finds Mary Fitzgerald. She'll drive off the right side. Into Carrie Barnes. Barnes up with it hard, and it's good.
And see right there, Megan Eve originally was thinking about taking that immediate 3-point jump shot. She stopped herself, made the extra pass to Mary Fitzgerald, who made the extra pass to Carrie Barnes, and Barnes doing a great job attacking the rim. And now you get the ball
stolen by Megan Eve. Great defensive play by Megan Eve. 52-49, 4 minutes left to play in the ball game. Fitzgerald with the ball left wing. She'll get it over to Carrie Barnes. Now back at the top of the ring. They'll swing it all the way around to Fitzgerald. Back to Megan Eve. She'll put up the 3-point bucket, and it's good. Tie ball game, 52-52, 3:45 left to play.
And that steal, that extra pass, seeing that the ball went in because of that extra pass, gives a shooter all the confidence in the world. Nice job there by Megan Eve, and an even better defensive effort. Megan Eve, the thing that I like about her is she lets her defense produce the offense. That's how you do it. You don't let the offense produce defense because, like you said at halftime, any shooter can have a bad shooting night. And for that to happen to where you can just rely on your defense, it will always produce offense when you're working hard on the defensive side of the floor.
Well, and Zoe Bauer pointed that off. You should never have a bad defensive night, ever, because it's all effort. Defense is purely effort. Fitzgerald with the ball, working on Bender. She'll take it left wing, and we're going to get a carry. And she knew it. That was great defense by Bender, though. She was up on her hip the whole time.
It was great defense by Bender, but also a little bit of miscue there between Carmen Lowe and Mary Fitzgerald. A little bit off, not on the same page there, as Mary Fitzgerald thought that Carmen Lowe was going to roll after that pick, something that she's been doing all day long with Shelby Nelson.
Fitzgerald working up the top. Ball is out loose. Tracked down by Jasenga. Out to Bender, right wing. Bender, take it. Nice little weave to Townsley. Townsley off the pick. Garrison 3-point bucket on the way. In and out. And there will be a foul on the 3-point shot. Carmen Lowe.
Not a good foul there for Carmen Lowe.
So with 3 minutes left to play, the hot shooting Jessica Garrison will head to the line to shoot 3.
63% free throw shooter on the line.
First shot is good. 52-53.
Because of that foul, Coach Nespajani having to risk it with Shelby Nelson coming in. I bet you she's coming in for Carmen Lowe. She was not happy with that foul. And she will replace Carmen Lowe.
So Nelson in the game with 4 fouls. Well, and great coaching over there by Coach Nespajani. Picking up Carmen Lowe, she came off. Good teaching moment. The third one will be missed, so a 2-point ball game. Mary Fitzgerald with the ball. Townsley will be guarding her. Works the left side. Nelson setting up down there.
Offense. Set up the offense.
She wants the ball. Double team now on the low block. And they're going to get a foul on number 22, Jessica Garrison, as Nelson was double teamed down on the low block. So Nelson will be shooting free throws. The 9th team foul here for Spring Arbor.
Third foul for Garrison.
Nelson, big knee bend, and she'll sink the first one. So 53-54, 2:47 left to play.
The bigger the knee bend, the better, Pat, as that's where all your power comes from on the jump shot. Coach Despigiani, I think, is going to take a timeout here. Talk things over.
Timeout, Saints.
We'll take a timeout as well. 54-54, 2:47 left to play. Stay right here. You're watching and listening to the Holy Cross Saints basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Holtman and Liz Wallace know winning isn't everything.
It's how you hold your head at the end of the game and how you walk off the field.
These two athletes carried their opponent around the bases after she injured herself hitting the winning home run.
Whether you win or lose on the field, if you did the right thing, then you did win.
And they showed us the right thing is sportsmanship. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Welcome back here to the McKenna Arena. Inside the File Center, we want to thank Brad Brink for doing all the camera work up there, buddy. Good job as always. 2:47 left to play. We got a tie ball game. And for the Saints, Francesca McCarthy, Shelby Nelson, Mary Fitzgerald, Megan Eve back in for the defense, and Carrie Barnes. And we're going to get a timeout immediately.
Almost a 5-second call right out of the timeout.
Great defensive effort for the Saints. We're going to stick it right here. Adam, why don't we go over the Crossroad League standings as we come in as Spring Arbor. And really, if you look at both of these conferences, year in and year out, always very well represented at the national tournament.
Well, I tell you what a game on Saturday that we had as St. Francis at home defeating the number 1 team in the country in Indiana Wesleyan. They were the number 2 team in the country. They stand atop, tied with Huntington with a 3-0 record in the Crossroads. St. Francis, though, 12-0 overall, 8-3 for Huntington. And Indiana Wesleyan, 9-1 overall, 2-1 now in the conference.
Well, in that St. Francis team, I got to see them last year as the Bethel Pilots, who we also are the voice of, lost. The women's team lost to them on the road in the Crossroad League tournament. They're a very good team, had a lot of young players, and coming back. The interesting thing is for both St. Francis teams, both teams had a player on the Conference Player of the Week for the Crossroads League. So we'll go 2:47 left to play. Bender now to bring it in, and here's going to be a loose ball foul.
So
Newman a little bit. Oh, no, they're going to get Newman. Newman a little bit aggressive as she bumped Carrie Barnes. So turnover, the Saints will get the ball. I don't think the Saints realize that they have the inbound.
19 turnovers now for SAU, Pat, and guess what? 22 for Holy Cross, my magic number, 23. Let's see if they can keep it.
Fitzgerald inbound. Looking, fine. Oh, throws a great hustle by Megan Eve to get it. 29 on the shot clock. Carrie Barnes.
Don't have to force this shot. You got plenty of time. Run the offense.
They're trying to work it down to Shelby Nelson. They finally will. Nelson, one step. She throws up the shot. Thought she was fouled, but no call. Newman with the ball. Tie ball game, 2:30 left to play. She'll get it over to Bender, the freshman leading the Spring Arbor offense. Townsley, right wing, right in front of us. Now over to Deshenga, the top of the key. The pass down to Newman is blocked by Shelby Nelson. Great defensive play by the freshman. And 15 seconds on the time clock, the play clock, the shot clock, whatever you want to call it tonight, sorry. Townsley to inbound. Quickly to Garrison. Garrison with the shot. It's short. Rebound goes to Carrie Barnes. Barnes Even for her size, though, she finds herself in good position to get the rebounds. Mary Fitzgerald, the top of the key. Townsley guarding her tough. Now over to Barnes, left wing. Back over to Fitzgerald. 15 on the shot clock. Working left side. Going to try to work it to Shelby Nelson down low. The give and go was there for a split second. Running shot in the lane, Mary Fitzgerald, and no good. Rebound to Jasenga. 1:45 left to play. Tight ball game right down to the end. This is what you love in college basketball. Garrison driving left wing. She's got to pull up. Great defense. Tipped away by Carrie Barnes. Right into the hands of Megan Eve. Great defense. 1:30 left to play. 25 on the shot clock. Fitzgerald walks it up. Right across the ring. She'll work right side this time. Carrie Barnes, top of the center. Now over to Megan Eve. Inside and Francesca. Francesca working hard with the layup, and no good, and she's going to get called for a foul. A little bit rough there. I think a little bit of frustration after the missed shot. It's going to be a 1-and-1.
Ninth team foul for Holy Cross. One more, and SAU's in the double bonus. SAU with 10 team fouls. Holy Cross already in the double bonus, and you were right there, Pat, as that was a frustration foul on Francesca McCarthy's part, and one that you don't like to see for Coach Nasbajani. Once again, a foul that's 90 feet away from the basket, unnecessary for Holy Cross.
Well, and that'll bring Carly Newman, a 71% free throw shooter, to the line. Tie ball game with 1:16 left to play. Newman spins it. Her shot, good. 54-55.
She's got 24 points on the day so far. 20 points for Jessica Garrison.
4 timeouts left for the Saints. 2 for Spring Arbor. Spins. Second free throw. In and out. 1-point ball game. Megan Eve with the rebound. A lot of time left on the clock still. Yes. Fitzgerald walks it up, guarded by Townsley. To the left side. Trying to work it down to Nelson. Over to Carrie Barnes, center of the ring. She'll stop back. 3-point bucket on the way. No good. Rebound Townsley. 58 seconds left to play. We're inside a minute. 1-point ball game. Tipped away by Mary Fitzgerald into the backcourt. Great defense. Townsley gives it over to Bender. Bender working left side. Garrison. She'll work down the middle. Up, stops, drops in. Her shot's good. 3-point ball game. 57-54. We're going to have a timeout by the Saints with 41.9 seconds left to play here in the ball game. Full timeout, so we'll take one too. You're listening to Holy Cross Saint Basketball, brought to you by Gates, right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Welcome back. A great ball game here tonight. 57-54. Spring Arbor leads Holy Cross with 41.9 seconds left to go. Game reset, Adam Demery.
Well, we got 57-54 in favor of the Cougars. 10 team fouls for Spring Arbor, 9 team fouls for Holy Cross. 3 timeouts left for Holy Cross, including 2 fulls and a 30, and 2 fulls left for Spring Arbor. As, like you said, Pat, inside of a minute, and there's still a lot of basketball to be played.
And after 16 turnovers in the first half, only 6 here in the second half for Holy Cross. They played a great game here in the second half. But with 41.9 seconds, they bring the three-point shooters out on the court. We got Carrie Barnes, Megan Eve, Mary Fitzgerald, Francesca McCarthy, and Shelby Nelson. Fitzgerald to walk it up, guarded by Townsley. Works off the right wing. Sets up, finds Megan Eve. Three-point bucket on the way, and it's good! Tie ball game, 30 seconds left to go. Megan Eve with the three-point bomb. Garrison pushes it up for Spring Arbor, and we're going to have a timeout. Huge shot for Megan Eve.
And, man, what a confidence booster for Megan Eve. Someone who we've seen throughout the season, Pat, struggle from the three-point line, struggle with her jump shot, and you could see her frustration in the first half. But she, like I said, what I like about her is she lets her defense dictate how she does offensively. She did a great job there. In the second half, she's been doing a great job moving without the ball, finding the open shooter, finding the open man down low, and then on that shot, just with all the confidence in the world, just bends the knees, puts the hand in the cookie jar at the top of the shot, nothing but net.
As we look at the last 26 seconds here, shot clock is off, I believe.
Yeah,
shot clock is off. So we're going to see Spring Arbor hold this ball for a last shot. The one thing I like is Holy Cross's defense in the second half has been phenomenal. They're contesting the ball. They're great communication on the switch-offs. Look for Holy Cross to try to get the ball to either Spring Arbor to try to get the ball to either Carly Newman or Jessica Garrison. They've been putting together most of the offense tonight for Spring Arbor. Both of them have 20-plus points.
Yeah, they have 46 of the team's 57. I mean, those are like you just said, Pat. Garrison's the best three-point jump shooter for Spring Arbor, and Carly Newman can do it all. I mean, she can do it on the ground, and she can also hit the three-point jump shot, as today she is 3 of 5 from the three-point line.
I might be going out on a limb here, but Holy Cross needs this win. They deserve it. They've worked their butts off. They've been in a lot of close games, and tonight, they after the first half, to come back after being down 10 points, and to be here right now with 26 seconds left to go, only 6 turnovers in the second half, and you talked about that, Adam. They had to be within 21, right around their season average, and they are. 26.1 seconds. We're on here for the ride, as it's going to be Drasenga to inbound the ball, guarded by Francesca McCarthy. Working to get it in. She'll get it to Garrison. Garrison will hand it off to Bender. Bender will handle the ball. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Shot clock is dead. 21 seconds left to play. We're down to 16. Hand off to Carly Newman. Guarded by Carrie Barnes. She'll drive right side. Kicks over to Drasenga. Her shot is good. 7.5 seconds left to go. And Holy Cross will take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout, too. It's going to be 7.5 seconds left to go. Full timeout for Holy Cross. 59-57. Cougars lead. You're listening to Holy Cross Basketball on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
They were outnumbered, out-equipped. They had no chance of winning, but they had one huge advantage: General George Washington.
The fate of unborn millions will now depend, under God, on the courage and conduct of this army. We have to resolve to conquer or die.
Just as the leadership of one man helped form a nation, today leadership can transform the world. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Welcome back once again. Pat Doherty, Adam Demery, Brad Brink up with the camera action tonight. 59-57. 2 timeouts left for Holy Cross, 1 for Spring Arbor. Both teams in the double bonus. If you just are tuning in, Drasenga knocked down a shot with 7.5 seconds left to put Spring Arbor in the lead. Holy Cross will have to go the length of the court here with 7.5. A lot of time left on the clock. DeLucia comes back in for the Saints. Megan Eve to inbound.
And, I might see if Coach Nesbitt-Johnny is just going to get it at half court and call another timeout.
She'll get it to Mary Fitzgerald, driving out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ball is stolen by Jessica Garrison, and that'll be the ball game. 59-57. Spring Arbor comes away with the win here at McKenna Arena. A great ball game, though, Adam, as you talked about. The second half was phenomenal. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get Coach's thoughts, or we'll get them right now, actually, as she stops by the table. We'll throw a headset on Coach as we'll step around. Coach, first of all, and I mentioned it here in the last few minutes, if you look at the first half of play, you had 16 turnovers. Second half, only 6. You came out in the second half and played a phenomenal game. Defense intensity was up. Really, to be there right at the end of the ball game, this is a game that really I thought you guys deserved to win the way you played down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely down the stretch we were focused. We took care of the ball in the second half, and that's what I told them at halftime. You can't expect to win with 16 turnovers in the first half, and it wasn't the end of the game that lost us the game there. It was all the plays that built up to that. So, if we now we got to put 2 halves together.
Now talk about the offensively in the second half. You guys were able to put some things together. The give and go really showed up. Shelby Nelson came up big once again in the second half. What were really the differences or the adjustments that you guys made at halftime?
The adjustments that we made really, we just went to a couple of our different sets. I mean, we have quite a bit of offense in, and we were pretty pleased that they stayed man. So, we pounded it down low. We went to what's our bread and butter right now, and Shelby's just consistent down low. 8 for 14 from the floor. She had some good shots. She got beat up down there too, and she played through it. So, this was one that slipped away from us.
One of the big things, Coach, that I was impressed with was Shelby Nelson's play. Not only the fact that obviously 21 points, she did a great job with the pick and roll, knowing when to roll to the basket, knowing when to, the roll wasn't there, to find the open target under the basket with Megan Eve. Sometimes when she got her shot blocked or she missed the layup, instead of maybe putting her head down and getting frustrated, she just ran down the floor and either got the defensive rebound or got a block of her own.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great job and a great thing to see from a freshman especially.
Yeah, she's definitely focused on doing the next thing right, and that's something we talk about all the time, is doing the next thing right. If you turn it over and then you hang your head, that's two things you've done wrong. So instead of correcting it, getting back on defense and getting a stop. She's doing a really nice job of all around, and we're pleased that our post game is flourishing right now. So we just got to get that guard play to catch up to it.
Talk about having a player like Megan Eve. She really showed up defensively all year. That's been her forte. But Adam talked about on the broadcast, she uses that defense to build confidence in the offensive side, and she knocked down that huge game-tying three-pointer late in the ball game. Having her intensity, it seems like the rest of the team kind of feeds off of that.
Her energy is just it's unmatched. I think she prides herself in that. And she's the one that we're going to put on picking up the ball full court because she has the energy to do it, and she's good at doing it. So, we are confident in her, and I was very happy to see she hit that shot because I know early in the season she's been struggling with her shot. So, it was nice to see her knock that big shot down.
Mary Fitzgerald's doing a great job running the offense at times, and especially that we saw with the pick and roll with Shelby Nelson. Seems like they have a lot of great chemistry out there on the court.
Yeah, it's nice to see such great chemistry, from our one guards into especially a freshman post, and our other posts too are doing very well. But I think they're the more you trust that they're going to do something with the ball when they get it down there, the more likely they are to pass the ball. And I think Mary and Jillian are doing a great job running our offense, getting us into our offense with some usually pretty good pressure. So they're being the floor general, and they're doing a nice job with that.
Last thing, Coach, as you get ready to go talk to the team, what's the biggest positive you're going to take from tonight's ball game?
How we limited our turnovers in that second half, because if you take out that second half, if you look at the score, we won the second half by 8 points. If we can take out that one run they had at the end of the first half, take out some of those turnovers, it's a different ball game.
Well, thanks to Coach Amy Nespajani for stopping by. Best of luck in the next ball game.
Thank you.
We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. As we get back, we'll run down the final game stats. You're listening to Holy Cross Saint Basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network, brought to you by Gates.
In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense.
Winston Churchill's immortal words stirred an entire country in the face of certain defeat. Today, these words give each of us the courage to reach for our own victories.
Never give in, never give in, never, never, never.
Commitment. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Hello there, this is Nat King Cole, wishing you all a happy and a Merry Christmas.
The joy of living is in the giving. So let's give lots of toys for tots.
Since 1947, the United States Marine Corps has been helping Santa fill his sleigh, making happier holidays for deserving children right in your community. Go to toysfortots.org and learn how you can make a difference.
Welcome back to the McKenna Arena, where tonight the Holy Cross Saints fall to the Spring Arbor University Cougars by a score of 59-57 as we get ready to close out this broadcast and get you the rest of the stats. When we start with Spring Arbor, they ended up shooting the ball 38% from the floor, hitting 21 of 54 shots, 6 of 18 from the three-point line for 33%, and from the free throw line from the charity stripe, 11 of 18 for 61%. When you look at their top scorers, you got to look at Carly Newman and Jessica Garrison. Carly Newman with 24 total points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists assists, 4 steals, only 2 turnovers. Jessica Garrison, 22 points, including 3 of 8 from the three-point line. She is their leading three-point shooter. 8 total rebounds for Garrison to go along with an assist, 2 steals, and a block in 36 minutes of play. Carly Bender added 2 points, 6 points for Kylie Townsley, 2 points for Rachel Jasenga, and a huge 2 points as she was the one to hit the game-winning shot here with 7.5 seconds left from the right corner. 2 points for Jessica Mayberry, 1 point for Lindsey Burnside to go along with 2 steals and assists and 4 rebounds, bringing the total to 59 total points for Spring Arbor. For the Saints, the home Saints, 22 of 57 from the floor tonight for 38.6%, 6 of 18 from the three-point line, 33.3%. Both teams shooting the exact same percentage, hitting the exact same shots, shooting the exact same amount. 7 of 9 from the free throw line for 77.8%. When you look at their leading scorer, you got to go down to the low post play of Shelby Nelson. Had 21.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block. 8 points for Megan Eve, a huge 3 to tie the ball game up at 57. 4 points for Jillian DeLucia with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and a block. 3 points for Mary Fitzgerald, 4 total rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks. 7 points for Fran McCarthy, 3 total rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 6 points for Carrie Barnes, 4 rebounds with 1 assist and a steal for Kristen Nika. She went 1 of 2 from the three-point line, 1 of 2 from the floor for 3 points. She also added a rebound and a steal. 1 point for Shayna Anderson and 4 points for Carmen Lowe to go along with 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal, bringing the total to 57 total points. And Pat, a big thing when you look at points in the paint, Holy Cross winning that battle 30-14. They lost the points off of turnovers 20-13. Holy Cross ended up with 23 total turnovers, 20 for Spring Arbor. So to only get 13 points off of 20 turnovers, that's a category that they maybe need to increase a little bit. Second chance points, 5 points for Spring Arbor, 2 points for Holy Cross, and off the bench, Holy Cross won that battle 14-3. Neither team getting a fast break point here tonight. That's another big category as well.
Well, the game of runs, it was for both teams. The end of the first half, Spring Arbor goes on that 14-point run. On the other side, the Saints win the second half of the ball game, or they scored 8 more points in the second half. As we look forward, biggest thing for the Saints is they're going to have to continue to take care of the basketball like they did in the second half if they're going to be competitive in this very, very tough Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Association Conference. And, Adam, you got their schedule. What's coming up for the Saints?
Well, coming up on Saturday, part of that doubleheader that you can find here on www.rrsn.com. You can join myself, Matt Copsey, and Dwayne Lewandowski for that doubleheader as they take on Purdue Calumet at 1 o'clock. And then on the 19th, they play St. Francis on the road. So a couple of key conference games coming up here as they are 0-2 in the Chicagoland Conference. For Spring Arbor, they go on to have a couple more non-conference games as they have a little bit of a break before they play Mount Vernon Nazarene in the new year. They play Cornerstone next on the road before coming back home to play Trinity Christian on the 30th of December.
We'd like to thank our friends at TCU, as well as Gates, with honesty and integrity. They've been serving Michiana for over 85 years. Hacienda, ay caramba. What came first to your table? Chips, salsa chips. Thank Hacienda. The Marines for protecting us and making it possible for us to be here tonight with you with the broadcast. For Cardinal Bus, the official travel sponsors of the Holy Cross Saints. And Beef O'Brady's. Good food, good sports. Beef O'Brady's the place to be. Every Thursday night, the Coach's Box from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on one of our affiliates, 91.1 The Globe. Join me, Adam Demery, Matt Copsey, Paul Condry, as we break down local high school and college sports. A couple of things coming up on the Regional Radio Sports Dais on Friday night. I'll be over at Riley High School as Elkhart Central travels to Riley. Adam,
I will have Friday night off technically, but I will be over at Niles High School as they take on Mattawan this week in their season opener to kind of get myself familiar with that team and with that program as well.
The next Holy Cross Saints broadcast on the Regional Radio Sports Network, as Adam talked to, is on Saturday, as well as I will be on the road with the Bethel men as they take on St. Joe Rensselaer. For Pat Doherty, Adam Demery, Brad Brink, thanks, buddy, for all the work up in the Crow's Nest. Until next time, the home of Holy Cross Saint basketball right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.